Hello, my name is Bob, and today we're going to talk about how to measure for replacement jumping surfaces, also called mats or jumping mats. There's three pieces of information we need to know to get the correct jumping surface for your trampoline. You measure the frame size, the number of spring holes in your frame, and finally the length of your spring. Let's talk about the frame. Here's a picture of a trampoline frame from overhead with a jumping surface attached. The measurement that we need is the outside edge to the outside edge of the frame, the metal frame, not where the springs connect or where the net connects or or not the width of the jumping surface. No, we need the frame dimension. All jumping surfaces are sold by frame dimension. So in this case, down here, we've measured and it's 14 feet. Now it's important to measure in two directions. From 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock and 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And that's the reason for that is that trampolines can become out of round. When you move it around to cut the grass or the kids jumping up and down, it turns into an oval shape. And if you only measure one side and you get a number and it's not really in a true circle, it's going to give you the wrong measurement and you're going to get the wrong jumping surface. So please measure it in both directions. You should come out with an even number. If you don't get the same number here, wiggle the frame around until it gets back into a circle. Measure it again. If you're coming up with an odd number like 12'9" or 13'6", it's wrong. It should come out to an even number like 14 feet or 15 feet. So please get it back into a circle before and make sure those numbers match. Second thing we need to know is the number of spring holes in the frame. So what I like to do is either take a magic marker or a piece of tape and mark where I started and just count around. There's really no common number of springs. It could be 96, 84, 88. There's a host of different numbers it could be. So you really just have to go through and count them all, count them twice, make sure you got the right number. And finally, we need to know the length of a spring. Now you have to take the spring off to measure it. Otherwise, if it's installed, it's going to be bigger than it really is. And you don't want to pick an old spring like this. You can see it's all stretched out. That's not going to give you an accurate measurement. So pick out a spring that's in good shape. Measure it from tip to tip, not just the coil part. Measure it from tip to tip to get your accurate dimension. Common sizes are 3.5, 5.5, 7, and 8.5 inches. Some manufacturers also use 6.5 inches springs as well. Now, once we have that information, we can go over to the website and we can find our jumping surface. So go to trampoline parts and click on jumping surfaces. If you scroll down a little bit, you have a place where you can narrow down your search, which you're going to want to do because we've got an awful lot of jumping surfaces here. So in our example, let's say we had a 14-foot. We measured it was 14 foot. And then we had a spring length that was 7 inches. And then we counted 96 holes in the frame. So after entering all that information, there's only two selections left. Now, the only reason there's two of them is because we have two different manufacturers that make this type of jumping surface. Either one of them will work. One is from Jump King and one of them is from Upper Bounce. So that's really all it is to it in selecting a jumping surface for your trampoline. I want to thank you for spending the time. And if you have any questions at all, please contact us at info@justtrampolines.com. Have a good day.